Yes,
Hello,
yes, I can hear.
can you hear me, Jyoti? Hi, how are you?
Hi, good.
Yeah, today I can share my screen. Today's session is again a demo class for the SharePoint. Let me share my screen first. Did you see my screen here?
No, I'm not seeing anything. Yes, yeah,
Now you can see my screen, right?
yes.
Okay. I hope attendees maybe they may join, but I will get one more session for them. Yesterday, in our previous class, we talked about the SharePoint and how it is going to interact in our daily life and also in enterprise. So today I'm going to give you a brief description about what all it is about, because until I start my first class, I will give you a small description and a small demo about what is the advantage of the SharePoint and what kind of activities we can perform in a SharePoint and how it is useful whether you join in a company, if you're not joining in a company, and how you will handle all your daily routine content in Office 365 online. And these kind of things we are going to basically discuss. And one more thing is, in our previous class, I got a big echo, and definitely I felt very like I can't even give you a brief description about that. And anytime when long back I started my career in a SharePoint, that time I don't know anything about the SharePoint, and no instructor and no one is there to teach me about the SharePoint. And I started my like in a googling and this and that, but I struggled a lot understanding. When I open anytime SharePoint site, it looks like so many options in the SharePoint site, I can't do it. And again I went back again, I get like that. And there are some other instructors and who taught us and very step by step, and maybe this is the time 1 minute videos and 2 minute videos, like in a 1 minute 2 minute, like that it definitely that will make us confident. Yes, only 1 minute I am learning, slowly I build up my confidence in a SharePoint. And every year I go for a SharePoint development project works, and for the major clients in US is very demand in the US right now, and maybe not in India, not in Canada. Also, I have some friends in Canada. They're not using much with SharePoint, but in America, yes, in East Coast, 100% everyday job like that. Comparatively with West Coast also, but all over country it's a high demand. And in Office 365, the major concept is like one of the major advantage is, suppose you're all familiar with all Microsoft products like everyday daily routine, Microsoft Word documents and Excel documents and PPT files and images, these kind of document lying down in your computer. Every day I will think about this, because even though I'm not on a job, then why can't I organize all my content in a SharePoint? Simply log in into the SharePoint. It's like a house. In the house, an improperly organized house and properly organized house, there is a difference, lot of difference. Any item you want to pull out, any shirt or any kind of a cloth item or vessels, everything, if it is properly organized, time saving, and it will give you a lot of efforts. You don't need to hire another person to organize the house, and just pull out the item and you utilize it. And there is a use for that. You spend a money and use for it exactly the same way. There are so many documents, hundreds and thousands of documents in a system. Even though suppose some tax documents and say green card documents, H1 documents, not here. If you go to the client place, exactly you face the same problem like content organization. They give you to work on different kind of documents. Suppose one civil contractor is there, he is making his PPT files for the contracting, and he need to organize all those files and share those files with their team members. That kind of work easily you can perform in a SharePoint. Exactly the same way, whenever you organize any files, SharePoint is very friendly for that, because it's tightly integrated with Office 3 Office products and Office 365, or SharePoint on premises is a server, and that you are not worrying about it. Server administrators are there in your company, and team leader is there to assign you what work you are going to perform in your SharePoint site. They don't give you all access. And once if you are a basic small scale administrator or SharePoint administrator role or end user I'm talking, nobody will hire you as an end user. They will hire you as a SharePoint administrator or developer or business analyst like that, and SharePoint business analyst and architect. These are the different roles that you don't need to worry about it, but that is not at all related to the SharePoint, even though you hired as a some accountant or some other person as a business analyst, not related to the SharePoint. Also, they give you SharePoint sites to keep their content into the SharePoint for their security and safety purpose, and also it's a highly scalable SharePoint is. That's what I can do it. That's a major thing. And one more thing I can say today, even though I want to take all my students, if I continue for those many classes and very step by step, and I want to track some students maybe slow pickup and high pickup. I don't care about it because I want to track everything, and I will ask you small questions like how you are following with me, whether my teaching is very fast or you are coping up with me, and I can take you up to depth, like how far you can do it, and from starting from the scratch. Like some people straight away give the training in a development, and if I do development, it's all mess up. And even though SharePoint developers are struggling, like everybody .NET developers are jumping into the SharePoint. They know development, everything they know, but they don't know about the SharePoint, and there are thousands of commands in the SharePoint. They get confused. If you go in a one sequence way, definitely you see like it's like easy. It's like my Microsoft Word. It's like Excel. All commands I know it. These are all things like that. So step by step you can go ahead. The SharePoint is very best user friendly. Suppose if you develop a .NET application, .NET applications need front end and back end. Back end, I think everybody know about the front end and back end. Backend means always you store your content securely and pull all those content and display onto the SharePoint any sites. That is called front end. So whatever the content, suppose google.com, if you go and the site you are looking onto the Google site, that is a front end site. But the content it's displaying is coming from whenever you search any content, like any Docker, any search engine. This will give you results. Results are coming from the backend, and they can store anywhere in their servers and cloud, anywhere. We don't even know it. That they have to maintain. Here, that major advantage is you can maintain front end and back end system exactly all together into the one SharePoint site. So all together, like as a libraries, you don't need to write a single line of code for any site. You will perfectly 100% design your SharePoint site, and you get all your content from the SharePoint libraries, display those contents onto the SharePoint sites exactly the same way the SharePoint will perform. That's why user friendly. Like who are all familiar with the Microsoft products since long time, it's good. But no need of in-depth Excel. Even I am not perfect with Excel bar graphs and Excel spreadsheets and everything, but cell manipulation or some formulas and Excel formulas, and I'm not so familiar, but I know what is Excel and all. That is enough. And getting XLSX files into the SharePoint library, do your manipulations and send it back. These kind of things you can do it. And also PPT files, as I told you. So what we can do is we will store step by step one type of Microsoft files. Even though I tell about all the Microsoft files, don't worry about getting all files at a time, because they integrated all ribbon bar. When you open Excel file, you see the ribbon bar, right? Here I'll show you the one command. Here, see Excel ribbon bar. This is in a SharePoint now, and Microsoft Word and everything. Now, this kind of functionality you look into the SharePoint once if you go into one. So, but you don't need to perfect with all this. Just if it all good, then that is good for me also. So in depth. First, initially, what we do is we take a small files. Like here, you're looking onto the screen. What I want to tell you is, pretend like I have some small, like don't go for any other sites and everything. I have a small content, even though some people they may not have the content, and you can download it from the online Google site and pictures. Take pictures and try to interact with some images. Suppose you have your images or any, that's why I put nature images here, dummy images, and get all those images in your folder in your computer. Don't worry about that. Wherever it is in your computer, it is accessible is okay. Some images are restricted and cannot take out from the computer. It won't come into the system, Sharepoint system, if it is securely restricted. So just leave it like that. These are the public images. Then we are going to get those images into Sharepoint site library. Those libraries are on the screen now. This is the 3 steps. Step 1, you are downloading image or you have image pretending like that in your computer. You are going to store those images into the Sharepoint. And when you store the images into the Sharepoint, it is not going to display onto the screen what you are looking now. It will store as a file format here like this. Any PNG files if it is a PNG. Then you will edit the page, get those images onto this one. Exactly, if you want to do the same functionality in a .NET, you need to write a lot of code and some HTML and tags, body tag, header tag, footer tag, these kind of things. Here you don't write any code, but it's look like it's a Sharepoint site. And this is important. They will ask you to do this little front end and back end also. What all the main transactions they want to do it, because when I went into the, very honestly, I'm telling, when I went into the Sharepoint admin and Wells Fargo, they asked me to do like they have 2 site collections. I will tell you later. This is called one site collection and another site collection. They asked me to move this content original one folder and another folder. They don't want this site content to be here. This need to be moved to another site. That's what they expected from me. That I have done for them, and how to do I will tell you. These are backend only. Like one document library is here, another document library is in a different site or anywhere. Then it is easy to move. Once if you go to edit this page, I will show you. And this is called backend. I'm just displaying here. In future, I'm not going to display this here. Only this content is here, and whatever the backend data is need to be displayed on the site, then you display. That is the site performance. And here I will show you this one page. Once if you go to the page tab, every time whenever you go into the Sharepoint site, you get 2 things. One is a browse and one is a page. Like once if you go into the page, this is the page. It's exactly like when you see any Microsoft Word, Excel, everything, and they are, because Microsoft know that all students and all employees are coming from the Microsoft products, and once if they are entering into the Sharepoint site, they should not get entirely different mechanism, like getting confused. Yeah, so they try to match both ribbon bars, not exactly same. Whatever you see in Excel and Word, differences like that only. This is also different. Any page is just I'm showing a basic Sharepoint site page. It's daily. You will definitely open the site and you see like this, and I will show you these are the 2 things. One is share edit page. Edit page, then only you can edit any of the content. Suppose I don't want this image to be displayed onto this site, so every day you can perform some tasks. Go to edit. It is trying to edit site. See, my site is being edited right now, and now what I want to do is I will show you simply like this page, and suppose I want to insert one more item, or just I don't want this to be. Here is a tab, 2 tabs. One is format text, one is insert tab. So once if you go to insert tab here, you can insert a picture, audio, video, offices, any content. See, it is looking like icons, but other than the table, this picture, video, audio, office 365 link, these are all will be stored into the Sharepoint library, or it may not be. Links means directly you can pull all web links and you can store in a Sharepoint libraries. Here I have some pictures, so that picture I need to display onto the site. So what I can do is here from the SharePoint site, I'm going to pull one image and display onto the this one. Let me see what all the images I have. Now what it is doing when I am inserting this picture, it is trying to take you to the backend. Backend means all these libraries. You saw already all these libraries. And if I have any pictures, and I am going to get it onto this one. I don't know where are those pictures. Let me see. Okay, and site collection images. I may have some. And pages. And site pages. And I'm just checking for my images. Where are those? And some images. Style library. Yes. Image2.png. Insert. See here. One more image. I just added this image here. And this is the main advantage. You can add images and you can delete images. Simply you can just work around it. And image, once if you click on image, and you see here, let me open the taskbar left side, right side, because when I'm recording this video, it is overlapping this right side. There is editing options. It is all closed, and let me otherwise minimize this one. And once if you click this, and you see image and format text and whatever the options you can do it, just you can do based on your permissions for all images. This is one kind of thing we can do. Image and so once it is added, then you need to save back this SharePoint site. If you don't save, then it is not going to commit changes. It is just displaying like that. If you want to change, store this image and then just simply save it, and you can see onto the SharePoint site. So I have not done any code for this. This is a minimum transaction, and I have done for it. Like this, you can display any images on the site. Also, in organized way, like you can take a small menu, like here edit links, here January images, February like 2001, 2002, like edit links, like different sites. These are all, this is the main menu. Different sites will show a different kind of images here. These kind of manipulations you do with all images. And image rolling images, like you can show all images at a time with the one by one, like whenever you get like a ribbon bar, you don't need to display one by one image, all images at the same time. That is image web parts. All this site is just simply a embed with web parts. That's why you are able to see all the content onto the SharePoint site. Here, whenever you edit, this is called a web part. And so web part means this one is one web part and this is another web part. Any web part you can display, whatever it is highlighted, that is called a web part. Then they have already again properties. Documents web part menu. See here, see documents web part menu. There, then you can edit this one. And once if you know how to edit these web parts, and you can do so many manipulations on it. And these are all not web parts. Simply I displayed flat image on the screen, so it is not showing any web part properties here. But this one I took it as a web part. These are the containers to display all your web parts, different containers, and pre-built. You don't do anything. See, these are many. One more container here and one more container here. This is page layouts. Page layouts are given for you for to display all your web parts. This is web part page. So like home.aspx, any web part you can display here. Suppose I am going to display, this is one document library, and I am going to display like a document library means I told you already, these are all the backend data is coming into your SharePoint screen. Once the data is not there in the SharePoint document library, you may not get all these documents onto the screen. First, decide what all the documents need to be displayed on the screen, then easy for them to browse. In big organizations, they have a huge content, and they don't want to see upfront onto the screen once if they're logged into the screen. And project documents and meeting documents, these are all consolidated documents onto the single screen without making any other option. Simply they click the document, they check it. That I will ask you to do it, and also I will also do for you later classes. That is very important. And here, one document I will show you today is what we can do is I'll get one more database like backend document library and display onto this one. And come here once if you want to insert any app part or web part. This is called a web part. So go to web part and see any of the things you can display on it, and pages, library, picture library, anything, and you can do it. It's already there. Documents is already displayed. And let me see if I can put some links. I don't know exactly what data I have it. And this one links database. Let me see if I have anything, and that content will come. Otherwise, we need to make some links in a backend, like in a document. Yes, I do have links. This content is coming from links document library, links library. There's so many types of libraries that decided for that. Every library has a different metadata to easily navigate your items. As I told you before, library is always your attachments with metadata along with attachments. Different kind of metadata means different columns after that attachments. Suppose I have my resume, and resume means like a student name and student specialization like a Sharepoint or kind of things. And when this resume is stored, some data for that related to that document is called metadata. I will show you one by one. This is one metadata column. This is a real title of my resume, my links. And related to the link, you can add more columns. This is the second column related to this one. I don't need more, only just this is YouTube, like that. These are the links, and this title is metadata. One more column you can add, like this link is related to some functions links or some whatever it is, categorized, subcategorized. That we will think about it later, and I will tell you on how to add all this kind of in depth. Now the topic is on the site, what all things you can perform if you have a Sharepoint site in document libraries. And first thing is adding, making your document libraries, whatever the content, and think about it. Like I have 10 Microsoft Word documents and 10 PPT files and 10 image files. Create 3 libraries, and every library is clearly tagged, like my so and so images library heading, and creating 3 new libraries, and get those content onto the Sharepoint site once if you log in the Sharepoint site. These are the minimum things I will ask my students to do it initially, and once they are good, then definitely we'll see next step, and how to manipulate, and the way you are showing and representing data onto the site is, there are so many ways. But initially you don't need to first worry, or no, don't worry about it, and I will definitely tell you and how it looks good, and you will definitely imagine looking at your site. I have not done anything, no coding, nothing, but I have a beautiful site with a small things, easy like that. And but dedication important. And initially when you log into the Sharepoint site, when you see all these, if you get confused, and that is not going to work. Anything, if you can't do it, just simply log out and log in back. Also here there is an option. Suppose when you edit the page, you are doing something wrong, things like this, then you do here and then come here and stop editing. Suppose I don't want to commit any changes. I already added one document here. I don't want any more. I want to go back, and stop editing means it won't save this data. I will get my data back again. Stop editing. So discard changes, exactly like what we do in Microsoft Office, like that. And see, I am not adding that content. Discard changes. I think it is already saved. So, and this one, let me see one more page. discard checkout. So I can say discard checkout means this page is not going to save this content. Whatever the content is not saved, that is going to go back. So see, my all my page, because whatever the data I added is discard checkout. Checkout, once if you check out, then you can add the data. And once if you discard the checkout, that data whatever you added is not going to add. That's what happened here. So you can do that. If you want to redo again, edit the page and get all the images here, and you can do so many times like this, adding content, deleting content, updating content. And this is important for you, and you can do any kind of things like this. And this is the main important thing. Whatever the topics I want to cover is working with SharePoint list and libraries, and adding different content to SharePoint list and libraries, moving content from one library to another library in a single site. We are not going to interact with more than one site now. And later onwards, I will explain how this is going to interact with, how you are interacting with the two sites, and transferring data from one data site to another site backend, and making more than one SharePoint sites. Initially, we interact with one site. That site is going to pull the data from the SharePoint libraries and display onto the SharePoint sites. And left navigation bar. And I will also teach about the left navigation bar and what are the sites information you want to do in a left navigation bar. And this is top navigation, how to manipulate that top navigation bar, and step by step. Right now, first we don't bother about it, just display, make a libraries, and those library content, different views, get it onto the SharePoint site. Views is a major concept here. And SharePoint library views, different kind of view you can represent data. It can be like a spreadsheet, columns, and it can be like a tiles web part, like a tiles, a small tiles web part means images can be displayed as a small tiles, thumbnails, images, so that you can click on that image and whatever it is there already. You know, everybody know about thumbnails. That kind of representation we can perform, or image using image web part. These things will display later. First, try to start with my document libraries, and if at all interested, everybody, please make some content to display onto the SharePoint site. This one, I already have the 2 user logins, and I will also create more logins if at all needed, or you can take a subscription. But once if you take an Office 365 subscription, I will ask you to make one site and come into that site and make that library things only first. Don't worry about all the other topics. I'm not going to cover and mess up, because I have to take all the students along with me in a same path. Everybody is following with me is important for me, because yeah, it's a big subject and very useful and interesting subject. Hope everybody will enjoy my teaching, and if at all more students are interested, I'm also so interested to teach and improve your skill. And also while teaching, I will also improve my skill every day in my chapter, whatever I do. But SharePoint is always in my daily life, and every day I read or something, I do something, I log in into the site, I do some mess ups like that, and I'll make sure that you are getting all my teaching, and you understand the way I am teaching. Please advise me if my teaching is very fast, and definitely I will try to reduce the speed. And if I'm taking in this path, then definitely I will make a session for at least some weeks session to make you a perfect end user for the SharePoint sites. Hope you'll enjoy my session, and I'm trying to close my session today. If you have any small questions or anything, I can spend some time, and you can ask me now. Anybody has any questions? I think no one has a question. I think I need to unmute all. Sorry for it. SharePoint. Yeah, how do Jyoti is asking, how do I log into the SharePoint? So whenever you get a SharePoint site, you go to this. You will get a URL like swarnaenterprise.sharepoint.com if it's not already logged in. Already I'm logged in, so let me see. I can log out this screen and show you how to log in back. Here, see here, student1 at swarnaenterprise.onmicrosoft.com. This is very, this is important when you log in into the site. I will show you, Jyoti, now and how to log in into the screen. Every time when you log out and when you are trying to log in into the SharePoint site, then you need to go to this link. They will provide, once if you're a user, then they will give you swarnaenterprise.sharepoint.com. This is the main portal site. So it will ask you like use another account or this one. You will definitely have different accounts. Minimum you will get 2 accounts when you create a Microsoft account. Office 365 and trial period or practice. I don't know, but what is up to your requirement. You will have 2 accounts minimum, and see here use another account, or I can use this one. But I can use this other account. Here it is same thing. Student 1. I can guide you from the Office how to download Office 365 and how to log in into the site, everything. Swarna Enterprise dot Swarna Enterprise dot on Microsoft.com. It will ask the password again. Password. It's like in a Hotmail. Once how you log in into the Hotmail, in that simple it is. Login into the site. It's not a difficult one. Once if we start classes, definitely I can also see your screen if you share, and I will guide you how to make sure that you are entering into your correct site every day and doing your work. That is if you need, but that's not mostly required. It's easy, and just sign in. My password is not right. If my sorry, student 1 password is different. ST1. See here, I logged in into my site here, and I don't need to, but it's okay. Yeah, this is simple. So you log in into Microsoft Office 365 sites, and any site you can log in into it. You will have different site collections and scenarios. And right now, if I am providing to my students, I will give with the basic permissions. So if I restrict the permissions, what will happen? You will have the happy learning, like you don't mess up with other commands, and suppose contributor permissions and the site admin permissions and one site access, these kind of things make you step by step. But you can go on your own phase, and I will also follow whatever you are doing. And hope today I thought I can give you free 40 to 50-minute session, but right now I think I can end with this one. But once all my attendees are attending, then definitely I will take one more demo session. Happy to teach again, and the teaching is my passion. And I did my teaching when I'm in India for 8 years, but not in go-to meeting, on direct meeting, direct classroom trainings, and in a .NET and VBL kind of things. But right now, my trend is going with the only SharePoint right now. I'll see what I can do for you in the future, and if anything, if I can help you, then I'm okay, happy. Thank you so much for the training. Today's session is over. Thanks. Bye bye.